We the Mafia, Bills Mafia, Bills Mafia, we the Mafia, we the Mafia, Bills Mafia, Bills Mafia, we the Mafia, Bills Mafia, Bills Mafia.
Welcome, Bills Mafia, to another episode of the Mafia Cast. I'm your host here, Ronnie Easton, and my co-host, Casey. What's going on, man?
Ronnie, it's been a slow week, buddy. I was very bored on Sunday. I can tell you that much.
So slow. You know, it's funny. I was on another podcast, AFC Roundup, with the Let's Talk Sports Network, and there we were talking about, enjoy your bye week. You don't have to stress. And I was like, yeah, that's true. I don't have to stress. But then we kind of want that, don't we? Because we don't like the off season. We want football. We want our team. We want to watch Josh Allen hurdle people.
100%. Like, that's why I kept telling everybody all weekend. I'm like, oh, stress-free weekend, here we go. But like you just said, I would so much rather have the stress. And no matter how much we hate watching the Bills lose, it's still like we still get to watch and play football. We only get 20 weeks of this a year. So it sucks when in the middle of it, they're like, oh, hold on.
Since we're, kind of going right into the bye week, what did you do for the bye week? Did you watch any of the games, or did you tailgate? Still, I know some people did that.
I know. I wish I thought about that and could have possibly drove out to Buffalo and just hung out at the stadium like everybody else. I just kind of hung out, took a glance around the league, checked out, see who was what, and see the Jets apparently become the second best team in the AFC East. I mean, now the Patriots are definitely not it after losing to who I considered the worst team in the league in the Bears. I can't.
We'll get to that.
I still can't believe that. But
yeah, that was crazy.
Relaxing Sunday, nothing too extravagant. I'd still rather have the stress. But how about yourself? What'd you do?
I mostly watched the Red Zone until the Raiders game came on, and then my wife and I watched the Raiders game together. We did kind of switch back and forth between that one and the Chiefs game. That one was, it was a game in the first half. And then, of course, we all kind of probably know what happened in the second half. But, yeah, it's Red Zone and Raiders for us pretty much when Bills are on a bye. But, I'm with you. I'd rather have my team playing. I don't really care for bye weeks. For the team's sake, I'm glad. Like, this was great for the Bills as their roster and getting healthy, because they are still have, nursing a number of injuries. So hopefully we can come out on the back end of this even better off than we were going in, which we should. And there's a possibility of Mr. Tre'Davious White returning.
So real quick, if we get the number 1 seed, will that bye feel different than this bye? Like, will you get more enjoyment out of that bye?
Absolutely.
Me too.
I actually was thinking about that myself over the weekend, watching all these other games. It is different because you can just, we're the best team in the conference. We have the bye. Good luck. We'll see you guys next weekend. I mean, it is different. It is definitely different. It's almost a sense of accomplishment at that point, I think, because you've gone the full 18 weeks. You've survived. You've battled, especially in the AFC, which is supposed to be the superior conference, which we'll talk about more about that a little bit later as well. In our Around the League segment. But yeah, it is definitely a different situation, different feeling. And hopefully we get that. We're in the driver's seat.
Yeah. I mean, we have in the home field, we have the tiebreaker leads over all 3 other division leaders. We've already beat all 3 of them.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. After 6 weeks to have beaten the other 3 division winners in your conference. That's wild.
It is. It is. Yeah. Before we go any further, we kind of want to really quick, because this is important to Casey and I. And we had Kristen on last week to talk about the Bills Mafia Babes and some of the work that they do and the groups that they partnership with. So in the month of October, even though we're coming up with the tail end of that, Tommy Doyle with the Buffalo Bills, of course, he has kind of a special place in his heart for Harrison Playmakers Foundation, which most Bills fans probably know. Harrison Phillips, that's his deal. So that's kind of the group that we're partnering up with. You can see the website there, harrisonplaymakers.org. Jump on over there and help out in any way that you can. We much appreciate that. So yeah, this is awesome. We have some more stuff coming up again, of course, for November. but we're not quite there yet. The Bills Mafia Babes are working on some stuff, so we're excited to bring that to you. But in the meantime, go out there and show Tommy Doyle and Harrison Playmakers some Buffalo love. Casey, the there's I don't know what to think of this league this season. Normally, I would say within a month into the season, you kind of know what you got. I don't know what we got this year. Um, Going in, the AFC was supposed to be the superior conference, but after the Bills and Chiefs, nobody scares me. Nobody concerns me at all.
So I still, compared to the NFC, excuse me, I think that the AFC is still the leading conference. I think they're still better than the NFC as a whole. Um, like we just talked about before getting on the show, the Seahawks, led by Geno Smith, are leading the NFC West, which was a powerhouse. However many last years, um,
Yeah,
but the AFC, you still have Bills, Chiefs. The Bengals are coming back. I mean, I was never one of those people that were like, oh my god, the Bengals are absolutely terrible. They had almost five brand new linemen. It takes time. See, I know. It takes time to gel, especially linemen, because you all had to move at like as one. Just about everything else in that offense is the same from last year, and they're starting to get into rhythm. Um, the Ravens, I'm teeter tottering on them. I don't know. I mean, it's one more blown second half lead, and I will probably be sold on them. The Chargers, they've
yeah,
dealt with a lot of injuries. I mean, they lost their starting center, their starting left tackle. They just lost J.C. Jackson, their big key free agent from this year.
yep.
They just lost Mike Williams for probably a month or so. Keenan Allen has been out since week one. He only played the first half this past week and didn't come back in the second half. Now they're going on bye. Maybe that makes
What
maybe
Williams is hurt too.
yeah, he's going to be out for about a month. So they're looking at Jalen Guyton and Gerald Everett and Joshua Palmer
Josh Palmer. Yeah, I
leading.
will say if you're into fantasy, go grab you some Palmer.
Oh, trust me, I put in a lot of waiver claims today. I have Mike Williams
I,
in
I,
almost all of my leagues, so I needed a backup.
yeah, I have him in a few of mine as well. In fact, after I get done with this podcast, that's what I will be doing. I've got 9 teams I need to, go take a look at. Um, yeah, I'm not a fan of the Chargers. I just, nothing seems to change. They just cannot win when they need to. I mean, yeah, they got blown out by the Seahawks. Couldn't stop their run game for nothing. And that was a big issue last year, which was supposedly fixed in the offseason, but they, clearly haven't. Uh, my thing is like with the Seahawks, for example, they've got wins against the Cardinals, Lions, and Broncos, and then of course the Chargers. And that's not exactly a scary 4 wins right there
No,
in my book. What's more shocking to me though is the other 3 teams in that division with the 49ers, Cardinals, and Rams. Those 3 teams, in my opinion, even still are clearly better teams than the Seahawks. Do you think Seattle holds on to that position? And if not, who's going to take it?
I mean the NFL, like there's a lot of it has to do with momentum. And right now, I mean, the Seahawks have all the momentum. I mean, they're clicking.
Yeah.
Geno has played miles better than what Russell Wilson's even thought to be able to show this year. Um, the Rams and Stafford are reeling right now. I mean, it seems like they really miss OBJ and Van Jefferson, and especially Andrew Whitworth. Um, and
Yeah,
not,
I think
not
the O line's the biggest issue there.
not to mention Von Miller being gone. That's a big. And I understand they still have Aaron Donald, but Leonard Floyd cannot be your second best defensive lineman. Leonard Floyd was great when they had Von Miller on the other side, and then they could have Von Miller, Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, and that helps. You can't double team everybody.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
the Cardinals, I have never been a believer in Kyler Murray or Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury he never had a winning season as a head coach in college. He's had one winning season as a Cardinals head coach, and that was last year after they started whatever it was 10-1 and lost their last 7 or something like that, last
Yeah.
6. Um, he's never impressed me. Who I'm and the 49ers. I mean, the 49ers are they're still going to be there. They are my choice, but even before the McCaffrey trade, to win that division. After just seeing how the season's been going so far, I mean, I think they're just the most complete team and the most well-rounded team. They
Yeah.
obviously have a great coach. I just it's just how far can Jimmy G take him? You know, can he
Yeah.
really? Will he finally be able to make that play?
You know, you brought up the 49ers, and I have a problem. We kind of talked about this earlier. It annoys me how much or how forgetful the league and the media seems to be. I mean, the Chiefs go out there. Yes, they played a great game. Yes, they, I don't know if they exposed or the 49ers just didn't have a good day or whatever the case may be, but people are coming out and being like, oh, the Chiefs are the best team in the league now. Wait, hold on. Did you forget what happened to them last week? Buffalo beat them. And I know it was only by 4 points, but if you watch the game, Buffalo controlled that game from start to finish. There was at no point where they were like, uh-oh, I don't think they've got this. The Chiefs are pulling away. The Chiefs have momentum. None of that. So I saw it on Twitter today too. Like, oh, well, Patrick Mahomes proved that he's the better quarterback and they're the better team than the Bills. I'm like, wait. So the Chiefs lose to the Bills, beat the 49ers, and that makes them the best team in the league and better than the Bills and Allen. And that makes no sense whatsoever to me. And just this is one reason why I don't like buys because everybody seems to forget who those teams were that are in buy, that they even they exist. Everybody wants to anoint the Chiefs already again. Oh, the Chiefs are for real. They're back on track. They're this or that. Well, don't forget they dominated in week 1 and then fell apart after that. They were not the same team. So I can't wait till the Bills get back on the field. I cannot wait to see what they do to Aaron Rodgers and that Packers team that is quite honestly garbage right now. And I don't see that changing. Yeah, Rodgers is Rodgers, but okay, let me tease this really quick. We are going to actually do a bonus show this week for everyone. It'll come out on Friday. And one of the topics that we're going to bring up will be Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. We're going to dive a little more in depth into the game. But there's some things that Rodgers has been saying this week that we kind of want to get into on Friday. So that's a little bit of a teaser for Friday's show. But Casey, talk me off of this ledge because I mean, it just drives me nuts. Like everybody forgot the Bills were out there in Allen.
It's what happens in the news and media. It's what have you done for me lately? Because exactly what you said. If the Bills played the Packers this week, and let's just for giggles say they won and won handily. If the Bills beat the Packers the same way that the Chiefs just beat the Niners in the same week, coming off that bye, do you think? I don't think that they would be still saying the same thing about the Chiefs. I think they'd be saying, yes, they are back. They dropped one of the Bills. They're still the number. They'd still be the number 2 team. I think it all has to do with the recency bias. You take a week off, like the media forgets about you. I mean, I know this is a much heavier note and much more important, but I mean, it's kind of like the whole Brittany Griner thing. When was the last time you heard something about Brittany Griner? She's still
Yeah.
over in Russia. I saw today that the courts denied her appeal for the
Yeah.
9-year stint. So that's still going on, but I haven't heard anything about it in about a month or so, probably even longer. So just to kind of put it into context, it's potato, same thing, But I just
Yeah.
do you know who the Chiefs play next? I don't.
They have a bye. I know that.
They have a bye. So watch the exact same thing happen this week when if the Bills blow the
we'll
door,
see.
if the Bills blow the doors off the Packers and the Chiefs are there, they're like, look at the Bills. They're the best team in the league. Like they showed it. They beat the Chiefs and blah 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 blah.
Yeah. So, KC, is this right? Okay, yeah. So they have a bye, and then they play Tennessee. It's a night game, November 6th.
Is it in Arrowhead?
Yeah.
I'll pray for my friend Dustin. They're gonna get freaking smacked.
Um, yeah, it's a night game. I don't know if the 6th is a Sunday night or a Monday night. I'd have to look at it. And for whatever reason, the calendar's not popping up on my screen
6
over
will be
here. So
Sunday night. Sunday night.
is it Sunday night? Okay. So we get this Sunday night, then they'll get the next Sunday night following. But I wanted to bring this up. Like everybody's talking about the Chiefs played this perfect game, and oh my gosh, they're so good again. Da 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 da. Blah 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 blah. Garoppolo had over 300 yards passing.
Garoppolo.
Yeah, let me say that again. Garoppolo, 300 yards passing, 303 to be exact. A couple touchdowns. He did throw that pick, and I think it was in the end zone or at least close to. Which we all know Garoppolo is going to give you one of those. But if Garoppolo puts up 300 yards on you, that to me says something. But let's put it in context because, yeah, they got behind, so he had to throw the ball a lot. He had 37 attempts, completed 25 of those. That's a really good completion rate.
Pretty good, especially for Jimmy G.
Exactly. He did get sacked 5 times. That's not entirely on him. He actually had a quarterback. Well, no, the QB rating, Mahomes was significantly higher. But Mahomes had a good game too. 25 of 34, 423 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had the pick early in the game that helped the Niners start off with a 10-0 lead. But Brock Purdy came into the game late. He threw for another 66 yards, completed 4 of 9, so 343 yards passing given up to the Chiefs or by the Chiefs. All right.
But that defense is elite, though. That's what I thought.
I know. Let's keep going. The 49ers ran the ball 21 times, which is unusual for the 49ers. Usually they have a lot more, but again, the score got out of hand, so they had to. But still, 21 carries, 101 yards, 4.8 yard average, almost 5 yards per carry.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. Well, look at what the Bills did to him. Devin Singletary had his most yards on the ground in that game, 12 for 85. You know, I mean that's a significant number. That's a really good average.
Yeah. So the defense is still the same.
Yeah.
Frank Clark got suspended for I don't know, being a bad boy, misbehaving on something. So he's out.
Charge.
Okay, so weeks 9 and 10, so he will be out. And they don't have much of a pass rush outside of Chris Jones. And then you take Clark out of there, it's probably their second best pass rusher.
Oh, guaranteed.
I mean, you can make a case for maybe Karlaftis, but he's still a rookie, still kind of learning. So I'm done with the Chiefs. Let's move on. I can't wait to the playoffs when we knock them out.
I know.
All right, AFC East. So we talked about this last week. This audio thing keeps popping up over here. Every team in the division had a winning record as of a week ago. And we kind of thought or asked the question, is the AFC East the best division in football? I mean, there's obviously an argument to be made for the NFC East with the Eagles and Giants and which one am I missing? Cowboys. Yeah, the least of my 3 in the AFC or NFC East I like. But the AFC East, did you watch the game last night?
Nope.
Last night.
So I saw the Patriots put up their 14th point, and I was like, damn. I was like the Bears. I've considered the Bears the worst team in the league all year, and I was like, Bears blew it. And when I woke up and saw it was 33-14, my jaw hit the floor. I couldn't believe it. I mean, Bill Belichick to not hire an offensive coordinator, a quarterback, or a quarterback's coach. And when was the last time he called offensive plays? He has Matt Patricia, his old defensive coordinator, calling plays. And you have a second-year quarterback and a rookie quarterback in there trying to run that offense. That doesn't work very well. I mean, that you have 2 defensive guys that's what they're known for throughout the league. That's why Patricia was hired as a Lions coach, trying to run the offense. I do think that they were smart to yank Mac Jones when they did. I just from what I did see. I mean, Mac Jones. I mean, that offense was just stagnant with Mac Jones. Zappy looks he looks better. I mean, you're right. Zapp. I mean, he's gonna get Bledsoe. I think Mac Jones honestly is going to lose his job. It might not be permanently during this season, but I think he's going to lose the job after the season. I think they're going to go into this next year with a legitimate quarterback um, controversy and probably ship one of them off because we know some
You
team's
know,
going to need a quarterback.
yeah, I made that comment last night, and some people didn't care for it much. There's people on Twitter that get angry. Did you know that? It's crazy.
Dude,
Um,
it's the
so let's
nicest place in the world. What are you talking about?
so let's look at this with the Patriots schedule. They've got the Jets, Colts, Jets again,
You want to play the win-loss
Vikings,
game?
Bills a little bit, Cardinals, Raiders, Bengals, Dolphins, and the Bills again. They legit could lose every one of those games.
All right, so go through it again.
Okay. So the Jets next week or this coming weekend, followed by the
God,
Colts.
I'll give them a lot. It's at the Jets this week.
Yeah.
I'll give it to the Jets.
And then the Colts.
Patriots. I'm sorry. They just benched Matt Ryan. And I've watched Sam Ellinger play football, and it's still not better than an old Matt Ryan.
I'm going to disagree with you.
You think
Ellinger in
so?
the preseason, anyways. In the preseason, the dude, he plays with an extra gear that I don't see from any of the other. Honestly, stop looking at me like that. Honestly, I think they should have rolled with him to begin with. Give him the job instead of bringing in Matt Ryan.
So you're the reason why Nathan Peterman got the job over Josh Allen his rookie year. I'm blaming your ass. Oh, you look so good in preseason.
Oh no. I wanted Allen right off the bat, and I got what I wanted eventually. Took like 1 week for that to happen.
Took a week and a quarter.
Okay, let's go back to I can't remember if it was week 2 or 3 of the preseason. We played against him. The Bills did.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know it's preseason, and I know you're looking at a bunch of backups and stuff, but you got a bunch of backups and stuff on the Colts side of that equation too. And Ellinger was head and shoulders better than anybody else in that field at that moment. He was running all over the place. He almost brought them. Actually, I gotta go back and look.
He started to kind of bring them back.
He brought them back.
I mean, I watched Sam Ellinger all through college. I loved him.
Yeah.
I absolutely
I did too.
Him. But like I've seen it, like just from what I've seen when he has come in the past into games, he kind of, to make an easy comparison, he looks like Mac Jones, and like he's afraid to make a decision because he's afraid for it to be the wrong decision. That's what I've seen in the past regular season games.
Well, and I will say I have not seen him in a regular season game.
Oh, okay.
Just in the preseason. But in that game against us, he completed 10 out of 11 for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like, he brought them back into that game because looking at it now, we didn't actually pull ahead until so we were actually getting our butts kicked by him, and then in the fourth quarter we came back and scored 17 unanswered. But I like him. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. Even in college, there was just something about him that I like.
Yeah.
So we'll see. He's playing this weekend.
Man, I hope I'm wrong and he blows the doors off the Patriots. I pray I'm wrong and he does.
But even if he doesn't, JT, Jonathan Taylor will be back.
Exactly.
And he'll run all over him too. So okay.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then after, where are we at? I'm still in Buffalo's. Yeah, I don't think, I would not be shocked if they don't win a game. But let's see who they got after that.
I'll give the Patriots 4 wins for the rest of the season.
For the season, so that means they win one more.
They win 4 on top of.
Oh no, I don't think so. So they got the Jets, the Colts, and then the Jets again.
I'll say they beat the Jets at home.
Okay, I'm okay with that. Then the Vikings at Minnesota,
getting smacked by the Vikings.
Then they got Buffalo.
Well, that's not a question.
With the best quarterback in the league.
Emphasize.
And then the Cardinals. I'm not a fan of the Cardinals, but They are a better football team.
Who's worse? I mean, it's just who's
talent
worse.
on paper. On paper, the Cardinals are better.
Oh, by a mile. But
yeah,
your guess is as good as mine.
Okay, and then the Raiders.
I throw that up like this too. I don't. If Josh Jacobs keeps playing the way he's playing, he'll run all over him too.
Speaking of which, I do like the direction that they're kind of changing in the last couple of weeks. They've been featuring him more, and he, in my opinion, is one of the best backs in football.
I've always loved Josh Jacobs. I never understood. I cannot believe they didn't pick up his 5th-year option. If the Bills were able to go out and sign him after this year, if the Raiders don't re-sign him, I will be ecstatic.
He's going to come with a high price tag if he keeps running like he is now.
Yes, if he keeps us going, but if he drops off a cliff, the Bills can afford.
Yeah, maybe. All right. After that, so after the Raiders and the Bengals, which you yourself said that they're like, I'm not sure, but they beat the Patriots. Then the Dolphins again. They lost to the Dolphins the first time, and they almost always split with them.
Yeah, but didn't they lose at home to the Dolphins in week 1? Or was it?
No, it was in Miami.
It was in Miami.
So that means the Dolphins have to go up to New England, Boston, whatever you call it, in January 1. I think Patriots get that one.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
And then they finish the season against the Bills. So I got them for 2 more wins. 2 more. That's it.
Yeah, 2 to 4. I can see like 2 to 4. You know, I can understand.
I don't see a third and a fourth one.
Well, I can. Well, you're telling me you'd be completely shocked if they beat the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Or the Colts, for as bad as both.
I wouldn't say shocked. No, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't.
No, me either. I wouldn't be shocked either. But I could see it happening. Okay. I think I was going being safe with 4.
We're going to talk about the Patriots a little bit more later, more specifically about Belichick and whatnot. But so I'm going to change my prediction from previously. I did not have the Patriots finishing last in the division. I'm changing that. And I know you can't really change your preseason predictions, but I'm going to because, this is our show. We do what we want. I'm putting the Patriots 4th.
Yep.
Agreed. And then I'm going to stick with the Dolphins as number 2, though, mainly because of the quarterback. You and I have both been adamant about we're not, sold on Tua by any stretch of the imagination, but I do think he's the second best quarterback in this division.
Yep.
And you look at the numbers from Zach Wilson, because I went and looked at it, because all of a sudden people are like, oh, the Jets might give the Bills a run for their money. They're going to be competitive, The only reason why they might be competitive is because they do have a good defense. So I'll give them that. I don't think they can keep up with the Bills' offense whatsoever, though. But I believe it was 693 yards passing, 4 games. Only 2 picks, so that's good. 58% completion rate and only 1 touchdown. 1 touchdown in 4 weeks? Are you kidding me? I could do that.
Dude.
I'll just throw a screen pass. I'll just throw a screen pass to Breece Hall and it's done.
And I think that's what his touchdown was. I honestly think that was the long touchdown that Breece Hall housed like a week or 2 ago.
Okay, I'm gonna go look. You keep talking. I'm gonna go look.
The Jets. I mean, like you and I talked. I think it was last week. I would rather be the Jets than the Patriots. I still think. I mean, the Jets aren't that good right now. The teams that they beat a reeling Packers team. They've I can't even name the other teams that they've beaten. I just know it wasn't impressive. But they're on the come up and I'm happy for them. Like not happy for them, but I understand it. They're getting better. They're young, they're super talented. It's going to take time. They're just ahead of schedule right now. This kind of reminds me of when McDermott took over and we were supposed to tank with Tyrod and we made it to the playoffs. We ended the drought. That wasn't supposed to happen. That's kind of how this season feels to me for the Jets.
Yeah, you brought it. So their wins have been against Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Miami, Green Bay and Denver.
They beat Miami. Oh, they did beat Miami. That's right. So
40
they
to
beat.
17.
So that was when they had that third string court. Miami had that Skylar Thompson playing.
And then he
that
got
was his.
hurt.
That was his first. Yeah, and then he got hurt. So that was it. So
Yeah.
that was his first. That was his first NFL start that he didn't even finish. And I believe that
And
was
that was a
also
home game
short.
for the Jets too.
So I also think that was on a short week for Miami. I mean, hey, you got to play a football game. A win's a win, a loss is a loss. But
Yeah.
I
So they scored 40 points against the Dolphins. Not a single one of those scores was a pass touchdown. He did have a run, a 5-yard run.
Brees Hall has just housed everything. I feel like almost all of their touchdowns have
I
been.
feel like trying to find this
calls.
one touchdown is like looking for a needle in a haystack. Hold on,
Well,
I'm gonna find it.
Can you find one touchdown?
I'm looking. Hold on.
Type in Josh Allen touchdown. You got to find over 100 of them.
Okay, it's not this one.
The Dolphins. That game going back. So we lost that game. I don't care what anybody says. That game's 10 degrees cooler. The Bills win that game because they don't lose literally half of the team to heat exhaustion throughout the game. It took extreme heat for the Bills to lose a division game this year, and it took hurricane winds for them to lose a division game last year to the Patriots. So what's the trend here? An anomaly has to happen for the Bills to lose a division game. So far, in the last 3 years, that's the way it seems. The Dolphins' defense does not scare me at all.
No.
Xavier Howard is a hell of a corner, but he is Stephon Diggs' son. Diggs can do whatever. It seems like he can do whatever he wants against Xavier Howard. Xavier Howard wins some battles. He's broke up passes. He picks off Josh Allen. But Diggs has still made a bunch of plays on him. And other than that, Byron Jones has been out. Igbenogany doesn't scare me at all. He's fast. If speed was everything in the NFL, John Ross and Marquise Goodwin would be all-pro wide receivers.
Hey, Goodwin had 2 touchdown catches yet on Sunday.
I put a waiver claim in for him. How about you?
I did actually.
See?
Okay. It's funny because on Sunday morning, I was kind of thumbing through my teams and realized, oh crap, I can't remember who it was. They were out, weren't supposed to be, but then he was. And I just grabbed whoever I saw and I was like, okay, good one. Let's hope. And then he was projected like 1.4 fantasy points. And then my phone's like buzzing and I look and it's like touchdown. Oh, cool. And then another touch, like, what the? Sometimes you get lucky, right? I cannot find this touchdown.
I wouldn't worry about it. It probably wasn't all that impressive, to be honest. Unless it was the house call, but still. We don't have to worry about that since Brees Hall is out for the rest of the year, which I'm sad about. Brees Hall is a hell of a running back.
It's
I feel bad
unfortunate
that this somewhat magical season he was going to have is being cut short, and now the fact that the Jets brought in James Robinson, which I thought was curious because now they have Michael Carter, James Robinson, and Brees Hall all on rookie deals. So is James Robinson just going to be a rental piece for this year, or are they going to try to do a 3-headed monster? I mean, they traded a fifth and two sixth round picks.
Yeah.
So what do you expect to get back?
I think it's more of the Jets feel like they are in contention for something this season. Like I don't think they make that deal if they're 2-5.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed.
And now I think that's false hope because I just don't see them in the
7th seed.
Maybe. I mean, they're a good start, obviously, but as Bills fans, we've seen 5-2 starts before turn into 1-10 finishes.
I've seen the 5-0 go to 6-10 real quick.
Exactly. I found the touchdown. It was actually a 5-yard pass to Corey Davis.
Oh, that's impressive.
That was against the Steelers. But yeah, I kind of going back to that. I mean, one touchdown over the course of 4 weeks. I think he had a couple of rushing touchdowns sprinkled in there, but 58% completion rate. These are the kind of numbers that Josh Allen used to be just beat up over. Like people talked so much trash about how good he was not because he only did this or he only did that. And to their credit, I mean, we're Bills fans. We watch every single game. We watch every single play. So we saw those plays. You're like, ooh, this kid's he's got something. So if you're not really a fan and really looking, you're not going to see those things. I don't watch every one of Zach Wilson's plays, so maybe there is something in there that's got fans excited and believing that he could become that guy. But right now, based on what I've seen, he ain't that guy. So for that reason, I'm not concerned at all about the Jets.
I've watched a lot because I mean, being in New York, if the Bills are on at 4:25 or they have anything but a 1 o'clock game, the Jets are going to be on. And I'll usually watch them just because I'm interested. I mean, it's a division rival. You know, I want to get all the intel I can on them. I always, if the Dolphins, Patriots, or Jets are on, I'll watch it unless it's a blowout either way. And then you can't really learn all that much other than how a team is really able to come back.
Yeah.
But and he's just never. I mean, he has a cannon. Okay, he has a cannon. How many other people in the entire world have a cannon of an arm? But again, that 58% accuracy rate, you know, like Josh Allen was dug for it, like you said. Everybody's like, he can't throw, he can't learn to be more accurate. Zach Wilson, he obviously can learn to be more accurate, but this is his second year. I haven't seen any
It is
progression.
rare.
But I haven't seen any progression between years 1 and 2. Same thing with Mac Jones. I haven't seen or years 2 and 3. I guess it would be for Zach Wilson, right? Because he came out the year before Mac Jones. So I haven't seen any progression at all. Just like same thing with Mac Jones, Tua. I think Tua's better because he has better players around him and a better offensive play caller. Imagine what that team could be if they had a real quarterback, like a legitimate good quarterback. If Josh Allen was on the Dolphins, that offense would be unstoppable because he would just be like, all right, you guys run as fast and as far as you can, and I'll throw it. Don't worry, I'll throw it. You run under it. That's all. That's all they don't do.
No kidding. I know. Well, that's pretty much what he did with Robert Foster in year 1 and 2,
and it worked. They got Robert Foster paid by the Dolphins.
He's like, Bobby, just go deep, and I'm just going to launch the ball. I don't even know if I think he's still in the league, isn't he?
I want to say he's on the. I want to say he's on the Dolphins practice squad.
I felt like I saw him somewhere.
I know last year he was. I'm pretty sure he's on his practice squad somewhere.
Yeah, I know where this is a Bills podcast. This is what happens when it's a bye week. We talk about everybody else but the Bills, right? Yeah. So yeah, enough of the AFC East. Bottom line is Buffalo's going to run away with it. I really don't think it's going to be close.
Nope.
I think.
I think won't lose an AFC East game the rest of the year.
What's that?
Buffalo won't lose an AFC East game the rest of the year.
Yeah, I agreed. Yeah, I can see a scenario where Buffalo's looking at the last 2 weeks and having to weigh whether or not they play their starters or not.
So, I mean, 2 weeks, that's pushing it to me.
Week 17 and 18, I don't think we need Josh Allen to play. Now, I'm not saying he shouldn't. I'm just saying that we don't.
Is Monday night at the Bengals. There's not
we'll have the division locked up.
But it's about the number one.
Okay, yeah. And let me rephrase that. As far as the division goes, I think we have it locked up.
Yes.
By week 16.
Yeah.
But you're right. The number one seed will still be in play more than likely because, the Chiefs will be right there, of course, possibly the Bengals. The Titans are winning again, so they're sitting at 4-2.
Still,
even though that's another team that I'm not sold on.
No.
But so we kind of touched on a little bit of the other divisions or other teams in the conferences. I want to ask you this question because coming into the season, there was a lot of hype about the AFC and all these great quarterbacks that the AFC has. And because of that, they are the superior conference. They are dominant over the NFC, this and that. Burrow has struggled until as of late. Maybe he's back to normal, whatever normal is for him, and they start flying high. The My gosh, I'm terrible with names. The kid from the Chargers, Herbert.
Herbert.
I have not been impressed with him. I really haven't. Like, I think he's a good quarterback. I just don't think he's taken that next step as into the elite status yet. I heard on an earlier show that I was watching earlier in his career and Allen's, there was a lot of comparisons between those two. Very similar build, both with strong arms, could sling it wherever from whatever position or angle, could run around. But Allen has taken that comparison and just completely blown away. There is no comparison now. And that's partially on Allen, I think, obviously, because of his continued development and progression to become the elite. And again, the best quarterback in football. But Herbert hasn't done much. He's still the same Herbert he was his rookie year, really.
So, can you believe they hired Brandon Staley over Brian Dable? How much you think they're kicking themselves right now about that?
I know. Could you imagine what Dayball could do with that team?
My God. But you gotta give Herbert some slack by missing his two starting offensive linemen, missing J.C. Jackson, missing Mike Williams. Now going to be missing Mike Williams for 4 weeks. He's been missing Keenan Allen. Brandon Staley's clearly not that great of a coach.
Yeah.
If there really hasn't been between Anthony Lynn and him, there hasn't been any significant difference, really.
I agree.
We
see constantly going for it on fourth down.
Yeah, which I mean, I'm kind of a proponent of. If it's 4th and 5 on the opponent's side of the ball between the 35 and 50, go for it. I think
in that case,
think it's a better bet. So those are my excuses, I guess I'll say, for Herbert, for why he personally wouldn't be playing well. But I really think it's a lot more on Staley, and that defense is just it can't stop anything.
Again,
I know we all love safeties in Jordan Poyer, and they have a safety that of their own in Derwin James, who's the highest paid safety in the league. He's a damn good football player.
Yeah.
But you need more than, and they have Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. What else do they have on that defense? They have Asante Samuel, who's junior, who's a slot corner, who's been playing on the outside. I couldn't even tell you who their other corner or safety or their 2 or 3 linebackers are. They don't seem to. I understand they're trying to build the offensive trenches, to secure Herbert and buy him time. But it's time they really got to start and like putting into that defense so they can give Herbert a shot, so he's not going out and having to score 35, 40 points every game. I mean, look at Josh Allen. We say he's the best quarterback in the league. He just won a game with 24 points. I mean, Kansas City, they did do a good job on, like, they kept us from scoring touchdowns in the red zone. They limited Josh Allen. They limited the monster plays. I mean, I know we had the Stephon Diggs and Gabriel Davis like back-to-back 40-yard touchdown passes, but we didn't have a 60 or a 90-yard touchdown pass. And it's kind of like this. It's kind of the same thing with Herbert. He's got to be able to. It all can't be put on him, which is again is why wins are not a quarterback stat. You can only do so much.
Yeah, I agree to a point, and I only say that because, and this kind of goes back to the Kansas City situation too, and also with Rodgers, which I can't, I don't want to keep going back to Green Bay, but that is who we're facing this weekend. But like I said, we're going to talk about more about them later. But I keep hearing this. Well, they got new receivers, and it takes time for them to gel with the quarterback and get the chemistry and timing and this and that. Da 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 da. John Brown, Cole Beasley, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis. None of those guys had any issue developing chemistry like that with Josh Allen. Is that a quarterback thing? Because I've heard some people tell me, well, it's the type of receiver they are. I don't think so.
Well,
when it's consistent with the same quarterback.
Yes.
So you're telling me, so Herbert doesn't have that type of ability that he can elevate those around him and just have almost an instant connection with them?
Maybe he does. We'll definitely be able to see, not this week, but next week when he is down maybe Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, and he has to throw to Josh Palmer and Jalen Guyton and Gerald Everett. Maybe we'll see. We'll see what Staley can come up with. The Rodgers thing, I mean, he doesn't put in the time. He wasn't around any practice facilities in the summertime. When after they drafted all these guys, he wasn't going around doing the 7-on-7 drills and going to OTAs and mini camp and all that stuff. He's like, I'll come when I'm ready.
Yeah.
Like look at Josh Allen. He flies guys out to California. Just to throw them. And when we traded for Diggs, he met Diggs. What was it, like 2 days later or something?
Yeah, they brought pretty much all of the skill guys together.
Yeah, and
in the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
They're like, we don't care. We're gonna do this.
Yeah, commitment, man. I mean, you got to be willing to put in the work. Rodgers, to me, is at that point to where I'm good. I know what I can do. It's time for you to prove what you can do. I've seen, and to quote, and for what Rodgers said, to quote him, we got to start taking reps and benching guys who are making mistakes. I've seen him make just as many mistakes as all the other players on that team. So is he getting ready to be replaced by Jordan Love? Is he getting ready to retire? I don't understand why he keeps saying, why he's saying that. I mean, I've seen him throw the ball into the dirt more times than I can count this year. Even my dad's like, what the hell is that? I don't know. And Herbert, I've always been a Herbert fan. I loved him coming out of college. I was thrilled when the Dolphins took Tua over Herbert. Because just like Josh Allen, Herbert just looked the part. 6'5", 225, muscular cannon, just smart.
Yeah, that was
quiet.
A lot of the comparisons.
I think Herbert has it. He has everything that you need, but he is still young enough, and just not that good of a coach. I mean, Josh Allen had Brian Dable, Sean McDermott, Leslie Frazier at his back. And Brandon Staley is not that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know that. I don't even think Staley, quite honestly, survives this season.
I think if they miss the playoffs, I think he's gone.
Yeah.
You know what's scary?
I agree.
Is that I'm afraid they go for Dorsey. I truly think this might be Dorsey's one and only year as the Bills OC.
I've heard that theory pop up a few times here and there. In fact, One Bills Live, they were kind of discussing that a little bit. I don't know though. I mean, I see both sides of it. The inexperience, so maybe some owners, aren't willing to take that leap. But then there's also the flip side of that, where like Sean McVay, okay, there's this guy that might be really good. Let me go grab him now before ahead of everybody else, type of thing.
Exactly. Brian Dable, Sean McDermott.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. It is hard for me to think or believe that he would be a one and done. Obviously, there's a lot of reasons to think that could potentially happen, though. I don't know. We'll have to kind of wait and see. But a part of that, too, is you have to look at it like the Eric Bieniemy situation in Kansas City. He still hasn't gotten a job yet, and he's been leading that offense for I don't know how long now.
I think that has something to do with getting blackballed a little bit.
You think so?
And that is no pun intended. That was bad. That was no pun intended.
No, I've always wondered too if part of it isn't though that he's looked at as he might be okay, but he's got Patrick Mahomes, or he's got Andy Reid. Because I was watching the Chiefs game, and even when Buffalo played them too, the commentators always talk about Andy Reid's offense, Andy Reid's schemes, Andy Reid's plays. Oh, that's straight out of Andy Reid's playbook. It's never Eric Bieniemy this or Eric Bieniemy that. So I do wonder if part of the issue with Bieniemy not getting a job is that the view or the league's view of him is he's being helped and supported by the people around him, i.e. the head coach and his starting quarterback. So I do wonder if the same could happen to Dorsey initially, at least be like, well, you got Josh Allen. the greatest quarterback in the league on your team. So I don't know if the league will look at him that way, or if somebody would. I mean, it only takes one owner to be like, I'm going to take a chance right now.
So that my rebuttal
So
to that would be Brian Dable. Nope. He was OC at Alabama, OC for the Bills, and immediately got a job. 3 years, got a job like that. He was never thought of as a product of Josh Allen or
he
anything
was
like
looked at
that.
more as helping develop Josh Allen, though, and I think that helped him more than anything.
Yeah, but so why couldn't Ken Dorsey do the same thing? Dorsey was work closer or just as close
Yeah,
with Josh Allen being the quarterback's coach.
absolutely.
I mean,
That's
that's
a good
why
point.
if we lose Dorsey, we already have our OC in house. It's gonna be Joe Brady,
Yeah, agreed.
guaranteed. He and
Agreed.
Josh Allen are the same way he and Josh Allen and Dorsey are. And were last year close and just basically the same brain.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
that's why I worry, but I'm not scared to
right.
lose Dorsey. I
Yeah, I'm
guess
with you
losing
there.
Dable and seeing how the offense keeps going and is actually, I guess, kind of better. Um, in some ways it is, some ways
In
it's
some
not.
ways, yeah,
Um,
yeah, in some ways.
it's just
Um,
another wrinkle.
yeah, we're gonna. We never can keep this thing under an hour.
Oh God, no.
So the what we have here up on the screen, Bucks, will they rebound? The Giants, will they continue to roll? Um, Daniel Jones had over 100 yards rushing Sunday, and I don't remember the passing totals. I want to say it was like 200 and some change. It was,
201.
yeah, I was gonna say it was barely over 200. Is he poor man's Josh Allen? Has Dayball got him to that point yet?
Where do you do your grocery shopping? Walmart, because there's great value, i.e., Daniel Jones, and then there's name brand Josh Allen. That's exactly what it is. It's exactly what I
It's a
mean.
good, yeah.
My buddy who's a Bills fan loves Daniel Jones, thinks he is just so good, thinks he's better than Jalen Hurts and better than all these other quarterbacks. And I'm like, dude, look at what he did until he got a good head coach. I'm like, and
Mm-hmm.
he's not the focal point of the offense. It's the fact that they have an amazing running back who is leading the league in rushing right now. That's why they're winning football games. Did you know in the game last week, they scored 10 points in the fourth quarter, and Daniel Jones threw 2 passes and didn't complete either of them, and still won that football game. That should not happen. I mean, that's bad for the Jaguars.
Mac Jones threw 3
Obviously,
passes and beat Buffalo. I mean,
again in hurricane conditions. Don't make
yeah,
me
yeah,
slap
yeah.
you through the
Yeah.
camera.
You know, I don't know what to think of Daniel Jones right now. I don't,
I
because
don't either.
I've seen enough of him, and previously, that he kind of has some of those plays. You're like, dude, if he could just bring it together, he could be pretty good. And I'm wondering if Dayball can get that out of him on a regular, consistent basis. And so far this year, I don't feel like he's making those wow plays, but he's not making those you idiot plays either
He's
as
not
much.
losing them the game, but he's not winning
Yeah.
them. He's being a game manager, which is not what you want in the NFL.
But think about this. Who are the receivers? Name one.
Darius Slayton, Wandale Robinson, Kadarius Toney. Boom.
But
only
are those
two,
household names normally?
2 of them. If Wandale and Kadarius Toney could stay healthy, they would be. I mean, we saw Kadarius Toney put up 189 yards and 2 touchdowns in like the only game he played in last year.
And
same
thing
with Wandale.
Well, I think with Wandale Robinson, unless you're a Giants fan or you're a fantasy football guy, you don't know who Wandale Robinson is.
True.
I will be checking tonight on the free agency and seeing if he's available.
You should. I think he's really good. What I think the Giants were smart to not pick up Daniel Jones' 5th-year option.
They may not have a choice now, though.
They weren't. They already turned it down. They can't pick it up.
Well, I mean, as far as extending him, getting.
Oh yeah,
because they're not going to be in a position to get one of those QBs in the draft this year.
That's what I was going to say. Their only option would be to sign and trade Daniel Jones in picks to move up to get that draft pick because they're looking at, say they finish 9-8. You're looking at spots between 12 and 16 in the draft. There's not one of those CJ Stroud um, and the other kid Bryce Young. They're not going to fall past pick 4 or 5. They'll have to give up the farm.
They might be 1
to
or
get
2.
up there. Yeah, exactly. And in my opinion, I wouldn't take either of them. I
That
just
sounds like an off-season conversation.
we can have a lot of draft talk, my friend. I love.
I'm looking forward to the draft talk. I do enjoy that. That's a long ways from now.
Yeah, thank God. We got to get through a Bills Super Bowl and Super Bowl parade first.
That's right. That's right.
They're putting themselves in a purgatory right now where they just don't. They're just caught right in between. It's like, goddamn, do we go all in? Just kind of the way the Jets are right now. But they chose by getting James Robinson. All right, we're gonna go all in. Now it's time for the Giants to be like, do we go out and trade for a wide receiver? Do we go finally get a wide receiver so Daniel Jones has somebody other than Barkley to throw to, and than Barkley and Daniel Bellinger?
And it sounds like the Kadarius Toney's probably not going to be around. He might get traded before the deadline.
I'd love for him to come to Buffalo. I'd love for him.
I don't know, because the stories I'm hearing about him as far as he doesn't fit the culture.
See,
but those are again, that's the media. We don't know really what's going on behind the doors. I mean, people said the same thing about Diggs.
Diggs didn't fit well either.
Yeah.
What kind of worries me is that it is Brian Dable saying that, and he's coming from our culture. So that's kind of like the one worrisome point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't believe in Daniel Jones. I believe in the Giants.
I'm not sure.
I don't believe in Daniel Jones. I think New York is going to get 3 teams in the playoffs this year.
1 New York team and 2 New Jersey teams.
You got to throw me through a table for saying that.
I can't believe it's funny. Somebody just put this on. I think it was yesterday. Made the comment about, I don't understand. It was actually a Bills fan too. I don't understand why Bills fans keep talking about this. There's only 1 true New York team, when in reality, the Giants and Jets are geographically closer, miles-wise, to New York City than Buffalo is to New York City. And my first thought was like, well, first of all, this isn't about New York City. This is about the state.
I saw that and I was like, someone needs to show him a globe, and then someone needs to show him a map, and someone needs to show him the state and the city, and be like, okay, so this is a state, this is a city, and break it down for him that way. Because when I saw it, I was like, you must be an idiot.
Yeah, I can believe that. Hey, let's move on to the Tampa Bay, and this is going to kind of lead into a little bit of what I want to talk about with Belichick and Brady and that kind of whole thing. What is happening with Tampa Bay and Brady? I can't believe that it's just him. Like
it's the offensive line, man. They're missing 3 starters. The only starters they have are Shaq Mason and Tristan Wirfs. They're starting center, left guard, and left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen would struggle with protection.
Josh Allen just run through him.
And
throw it.
The only thing that save Josh Allen would be his legs. Tom Brady doesn't have that. He doesn't have that luxury. He's always needed a little bit of time, and what's always been the key to stopping Brady? Pressure right up the middle.
Mess up his timing.
It doesn't help that Mike Evans is dropping 50-yard wide open touchdowns.
Terrible,
and stuff like that.
Terrible.
And I think it's kind of just a perfect storm. Brady's older. They're missing a bunch of most of their offensive line. Bruce Arians isn't the head coach anymore. Byron Leftwich isn't.
I think that's the biggest thing.
I think it has a lot to do with Bruce Arians. I mean, Byron Leftwich, it's now his offense, not he's not running Bruce Arians' offense.
I.e. Brady and Bieniemy, same situation.
Well, and Todd Bowles was absolutely terrible as a head coach. Some coaches are meant to be an offensive coordinator. Yeah. Some are meant to be a head coach. McDermott's meant to be a head coach. I think the same way with Leslie Frazier. I think he's meant to be a coordinator. He's a hell of a coordinator. He's not meant to be a head coach.
There's a reason why he was fired as a head coach.
Exactly. There's a reason why all these guys were, and they all go back to
You
being
could improve.
coordinators.
You could learn and get, but I don't know. We'll see.
Fool me once, shame on me, dude.
Yeah, the times that I have watched the Bucks play this year, Brady does look old.
He does.
Like, he does not look the same as he has in previous years, and it's so crazy to me to watch these guys when they're good, and there's not. I want to say not all of them are like this, but there's some of them that just there's like this drop off. Like all of a sudden,
it's a legit cliff. It's not a hill.
Peyton Manning was the same way. Like, he looked terrible his last year. Like, dude, I don't even know how these guys won a Super Bowl with him that last year, but they did.
Von Miller, that's how.
Yeah, all defense. But okay, so talking about Brady and his age, I'm going to throw this here up on the screen while we're kind of talking about this. But we're kind of going back to that whole did Brady make Belichick and vice versa, right? So this, to me, is very telling. Asante Samuel on Twitter, Belichick is starting to show you he is an average coach without Brady.
How scary.
I tend to believe that.
How scary is that? So I sent a picture to you earlier today that Belichick without Brady is an under 500 coach. With if anybody not named Brady at quarterback, I think it was 76 and 84, I believe. I'm probably off by a couple of games, but it's something around there.
Yeah.
I think, again, it's kind of the perfect storm and the cyclical thing. I mean, Patriots were bad. Patriots were good. Now they're going back to being bad again. I mean, it's Belichick's run his entire career. I mean, I understand he's been coaching since the 80s and stuff like that, but the most and best chunk of his career has been with the Patriots and with Brady, and the time is over. Like, it's done.
Yeah,
I understand he and Robert Kraft have this, like, they came out the year before they traded Brady, when they traded Garoppolo instead of Brady, that he and Robert Kraft have a plan that they both know when he's going to be done, whether that's an actual date, whether that's an age, whether that's his first, like, legitimate terrible losing season, like what we're kind of seeing now. He and Brady together, unstoppable. Obviously, I don't think it was either or. I think it was a mix of both, because you can't have peanut butter and jelly without peanut butter or jelly. I mean, it worked together so well. I mean, he was able to scheme out defenses with the players that he had so well, and Brady was able to run the offense to put up the points. I think he's still.
But where's that scheme now? They gave up 33 points to possibly the worst offense in football. Exactly. Where's that scheme?
Well, that's what I'm saying. His time's over. Like, it
is.
Time is catching up.
And I do not want to hear anybody ever say, "Oh, it's the Patriots. It's the Patriot way." Again. It's not anymore. Sorry, that's done. It's more like it's it was the Brady way. That, to me, I think the last few years has proven to me that marriage between those two was more about Brady than it was Belichick. I do wonder, though, what if they had kept Garoppolo? Because Garoppolo's not a terrible quarterback. I mean, he did take San Francisco to a Super Bowl, working in largely the same way that Belichick does. Really good defense, great run, ground game. And, that's what they do in San Fran. I do think that Belichick could have been successful with Garoppolo, but I do believe that marriage is more about Brady making Belichick than the other way around, or even a 50-50, in my opinion. They've made the playoffs at least once since he's been gone, and it was one and done, because we all know what happened in that one.
Yeah. It sucks to not ever reach fourth down, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know. It's I'm over the Patriots. They can finish in dead last, and I'm going to be totally happy with it. And I'm hoping for it at this point. And I'm sorry to some Patriots fans. This is weird. Like comments are suddenly popping up on our deal when they weren't before. I think there was an issue, so I'm going to kind of go through and look at some of these. But
These comments, I'm looking at them as
yeah,
well.
I don't know. I think I would not be shocked if Belichick calls it quits.
I won't. No, me either. After this year, I think this is Brady and Belichick's last year.
Yeah.
Do you think? What would your opinion be if Brady went back and re-signed a one-day contract to retire a Patriot?
I would respect that.
Me too. I would. I would. After that bullshit retirement letter that he penned and didn't even mention the Patriots, I think that was planned. I think it was on purpose, because he clearly mentioned Bucks and Bucks fans, and you think somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, you forgot the Patriots." You think he forgot that. I think it's all part of the plan. Absolutely.
Yeah, I would definitely respect that. I'm gonna. So there's one. We'll throw this one up there.
That's
Screw
what I
the
was
Bucks.
just about to put up.
Glad they suck and Giants good, but they're not 100% there yet. Jones will be there again next year, and Dable will make him better. So I think Scott here. Thank you for the comment there. I agree with him. Actually, I think there's more to Daniel Jones than what we've seen so far, and I think Dayball is the guy that can get it out of him. He's clearly never going to reach Allen Heights. Nobody's going to because, again, Scott, I saw your comment here. Allen is the greatest quarterback in the league. Don't make me say it again. You don't agree, Daniel Jones, huh?
That he's going to be good.
What
I
does he
think
do, though?
I think he'll be there next year, and I agree with another comment that Scott said. Where is it? Let me find it. It was something like that. It was that Daniel Jones is going to sign a 2 or 3 year deal for. I mean, Scott said 25 to 30 million. That's a little high, I think. I mean, because that's getting up there towards Josh Allen numbers. It'll probably be more around the 15 to 20 year deal. Kind of just make it. They'll probably just mirror his 5th year option for 2 years.
Yeah.
Because that's a 5th year option is it's like only like $19 million or something like that, and to a quarterback, like to pay a quarterback, that is chump change. I think it'll probably be like a 1-and-1, kind of like an NBA contract, to where they have the team option for the 2nd year. They'll probably be all right.
Yeah.
Legitimate, prove it. This is it. I mean, if they go to the playoffs or something like this year, I think if the Giants miss the playoffs this year, he's gone. I think if they make it, he's there for 1 more year. Yes, Scott. I understand Josh Allen is $40 million a year. So I said
I couldn't remember the exact numbers, so I knew somebody was probably going to.
By the way, Scott,
shoot that
it's
over
$19 million for Josh Allen this year, buddy boy.
Okay, so full disclosure, I do know who Scott is. And he and I go back and forth quite a bit on Allen, and we have ever since Allen was drafted, like back and forth constantly. And Josh Allen is the greatest quarterback in the league.
So you're telling me Scott's a hater?
I woun't say he's a hater, but
Who's his team?
He and I were not on the same page when it came to Josh Allen for a long time. It took him a while to come around with Allen, I can't understand why some people aren't ready to say he's the best in the league. Well, let me rephrase that. I know why they say that. I don't agree with it because I don't care that Mahomes won a Super Bowl 3 seasons ago and an MVP 3 seasons ago. That was 3 seasons ago. We're talking about right now.
So, okay, let's do this then, buddy boy. I had this conversation with 2 friends yesterday. Allen Mahomes, whatever way people want to put it, I don't care. You can put Allen 2, Allen number 1, Mahomes 2, Mahomes 1. They're interchangeable. There's arguments for both.
I'm okay with that.
After Allen and Mahomes, this year who's the top 10 court and the next 8 to round out the top 10 quarterbacks in the league, in your opinion? Maybe it doesn't have to be in order, but because I can tell you mine right in order.
See, I'd have to sit and really think about it, but I'll get back to you on Friday. How about that?
Deal.
All right, because I'd have to think about it.
Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, for me. Jalen Hurts, Geno Smith at number 5.
No.
This year, I don't care what the hell you did in the past.
I'm down.
Lamar Jackson, purely because of his rushing ability. He's 20th in the league in passing yards, and he does not have great passing numbers, but he still has that. Yes, Scott, I just did, buddy boy. God damn it, Scott, you made me lose my train of thought.
He does that to people.
So Geno Smith, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert. Oh God, who was it? Oh, I got 2 more. I can't remember who it was.
Stafford, maybe.
No, I wouldn't say he's top 10.
Yeah. We're talking this year only.
Yeah.
And going back to the Hurts thing, I mean, I'm fine if people want to put him in the top 5, but he's got 6 passing touchdowns in 7 games.
Yep.
Woo!
He's also got 6 rushing touchdowns.
Woo! Okay, so a total of 12.
So, are you gonna have that same argument for Lamar Jackson then?
What is how many touchdowns does he have right now? He's got more than 6 passing touchdowns.
Yes, he has 13, but he has
he has
good. About 600 less passing yards than Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
So,
but you could also argue that Hurts has better receiving core, considerably better, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But look at the offenses they run. Jalen.
That's the other thing too. Very different offenses, I think. But yeah, I'll put together a top 10 just based off of this year alone and get back to you.
Love you, Scott. I don't know you, but love you, buddy.
Scott's all right. He's all right. Listen, we are again over an hour. Shocker. But again, we're going to have a bonus episode show on Friday. We will again go live. We're going to shoot for probably around 7:30 Eastern. Of course, we'll let all of our listeners know. We'll put out there on Twitter, Facebook, so on and so forth. If you're listening, we have a Facebook group. We have a Facebook page. Please go find those and like them. It's the Mafia Cast. We, of course, have the YouTube. We are doing pretty well with subscribers. We want more. So Absolutely. Go out there, give us a subscribe, follow, share, like, all of those, things that you do for podcasts.
What do they say?
And on social media. Hit the bell to get those notifications. Those of you that are listening, we appreciate you. We love you guys
so much, guys.
And we are going to see you all on Friday night. Go Bills.
Go Bills.